Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the part 3 of designing sort of ClickUp, Jira, similar items, right? This is a phase 3 of the project or data modeling exercise. In the first part, we essentially taught you what a two-way embedding model is and how we can model many-to-many. Then the first part, we essentially did a user and a ticket. So user can have many tickets. Tickets can be assigned to multiple user. The second phase, I showed you how to add a new feature, for example, comments. So on each ticket, multiple user can comment, right? Now the access pattern is for a given ticket, fetch me all the comments. Who are the user who made those comments, right? All those stuff. Now the next phase, the part 3 here that we have is on a ticket, you usually have a flag called whether the ticket is urgent, high, normal, low, or clear, right? Essentially a priority, right? How do we add these feature now on the DynamoDB table? So I shall be walking you over the design. Again, we are performing iterative design. So this was our first design where we did users to tickets. Second design, we added comments. And now that's the third design, okay? So let's see the requirements, right? So what we have is a priority, right? We'll have a priorities, low, medium, high, urgent, and sort of clear, right? Now what we want to do is we want to assign priority to the tickets, and we also want to know who did assign the priority. Was it a director, a product manager, or senior dev, right? So I do need a reference for a user and a ticket here, right? So essentially that way I know who assigned the priority and on which tickets are these priorities for. So my access pattern here, the one that I newly added is in the green. Show me the tickets with the urgent priority, right? For an example, that's that. For a given ticket, show me all the comments made by the user. Show me also the priority of the ticket, right? So that could also be one of the access pattern, right? So the design 1, design 2, and design 3. So how do we approach this now, right? So observe how this is the goal of a single table design, right? A lot of people, they think so much in terms of relational, they can't even think NoSQL, right? That's why it's essential to learn these concepts, right? So here I'm defining a priority list and I'm defining all my priorities. So here I'm saying that the user can select from 3 priorities here, that is low, medium, high, and urgent. These are the only one which they can select from, right? Now the way we model is this. So far we have done all these stuff, okay? I'm not covering that, okay? So if you want, watch part 1. This was the part 1 where we covered basics, right? First part where we covered two-way modeling, the part 1, part 2, and this is the part 3, okay? So where we are assigning priorities to the ticket. So what you do observe here is I have a priority in the PK, right? And then essentially, if you observe, I'm saying priority hash ticket 1. So I'm essentially using a secondary key to model many. So, this priority is there on ticket 1, again, priority is there on ticket 2. And if you don't want to do this, maybe because what would happen is this partition would grow more than 10 gigabytes. So rather what I would do is I would assign a random GUID and I would say priority 1. So let's redefine this a little bit. So we'll say priority 1, and then we'll use the hash and on which ticket that was assigned. So I'll say this was assigned on ticket 1, right? And then again, this priority was assigned on a ticket 2. And what I'm doing here is, if you observe carefully, again, this will be priority 2. These are basically GUID that are going to be generated randomly. Now observe how I'm modeling this, right? I'm essentially going to add a priority object. This will have the priority, high, medium, low, and the created date. And now what we're going to do is on the GSI 1, right? We're going to reference the ticket. So this priority was assigned on ticket 1. And on GSI 2, we're going to reference the user. So user 1 made the priority, right? He was the one who did set the priority. Now, how does that looks in DynamoDB? I would love to show you in the NoSQL. So far, we have made all these stuff, amazing stuff, right? That's great. Now let's update the table and add the priority. So we'll click on add data. Now I'm adding the priority 1 here. So somebody basically created a priority on the ticket. So we'll add a secondary key. And I'll show you the access pattern once I complete this. So do not worry about that. So I should have, by the way, first I need to click on cancel because I need to add a new field on the table. So I'll go back, I'll click on launch, and then I'll click on open, and then essentially I'll click here and click on edit. Now here I'll add a new attribute here and I'll call this as PRIO priority object. Okay, and then I'm gonna click on save. Okay, once that is done, we'll click on visualize aggregate, and then I'm gonna add the data. So here I will say priority 1. So I'll add it here. This is essentially assigned on ticket 1, right? I'm just showing you for one of them, right? And here in the priority object, if you observe, this will be an map object, right? And then we are also gonna say which ticket was that assigned to. So this was assigned to ticket number 1, and this was assigned by user 1. Okay, now let me just add one more just to show you sort of the concept here. So I'll add priority 2 here. The new priority was created when the ticket was made. Now this was similar here. This was also made by user 1, made on, that's it, ticket 2. Okay, we'll click on save. Now see how this looks like. Again, this is how the DynamoDB table has evolved, right, over the time, right? Again, this is a third lab. So now I'm essentially assigning the priority, right? So if I go to a GSI, I can clearly see for a given ticket, I can see the user who are assigned on that ticket, right? I could also see the comments on the ticket, who made the comment at what time. I could also see basically the priority. There was an high priority on this ticket. So for a given ticket, I can fetch all the details, such as basically who was the user, what comment was made, what was the priority. Now on the GSI2, for a given user, I can see all the priority. So user 1 was assigned ticket 1, ticket 2, he made comment here, then he was priority 1, priority 2, this is a GSI2. And if you want to fetch, for example, again, if you want to fetch ticket 1, you could easily just say ticket 1, and then you could basically, if needed, you could filter down from the data, right? So what you're observing here is we are doing a referencing here. So we started off with this too simple. We added status, we added comments, and now we had priority. So see how the schema has evolved, right? DynamoDB is a very, very powerful database, right? If used correctly, can give you performance at scale. Now, what you also want to do is while designing these tables, you want to set up TTL, which means as the object grows older, it will be automatically archived or deleted. You want to set up DynamoDB streams, so those deleted objects are captured with Kinesis data stream. Then you essentially attach a firehouse with a lambda transformation, put the data in the data lake. So now you could do a historical analysis on the data. For example, over last year, how many tickets were created? How many user are assigned ticket? All those analytics OLAP, right? Those data would be loaded into Redshift for BI purposes, for all sort of insight, right? Okay, for a given user, how many tickets were assigned? How many tickets were opened? For how long the tickets were opened, right? All these amazing insights are derived from these data, right? So what you observe here is an OLTP. This is our operational data 1 year, right? And all the older data will be automatically pruned by Dynamo, since we'll set up TTL on that, right? So see gradually how we are evolving, right? We have been adding new feature, right? We added the priority, right? Now in the next part, I'll show you how we can add a new feature, for example, target quarter. So for a given ticket, what is the target quarter, right? So let's try to add that in the next video. And if there's any other things that you want to add on this, let me know. We'll try to add it here, right? But this is essentially part number 3, where we have added priority on our tickets. I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll leave all the resources to all the parts if in case you are interested how we came up to this part. We do have everything step by step. This is a part 1, this is part 2, and the video that you're watching now is part 3. Hope you have enjoyed, and with that being said, keep smiling and share the video with your colleagues to whom you feel this videos would be useful. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.